I want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Just watch the clock. We're not going to do the entire 10 minutes. We're going to get started in probably about 4 minutes. So just disregard that clock. I may speed it up. I want to say welcome to my first guest there, my brother Curtis. How you doing there? I see you there in my backstage. And we shall be getting started shortly. What we really want to do, we want to go ahead and express ourselves as to the verdict today on Derek Chauvin. We want to know exactly what does this verdict mean to you and your family. That's going to be the discussion for today, okay? Special broadcast. So just sit back, give me about 3 minutes. I'm going to let some of the other guests come in and we'll get this show on the road, okay? So sit back. I want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollers live talk show. We got a special show that we're running today. For those of you who hadn't heard the news yet, I'm pretty sure you already have heard the news. We got a verdict in today. I'm hoping that you all are just as bubbling happy as I am. We got a few guests that we are waiting on. I see one, two. I thought I saw three. Looked like my brother James Frazier done tuned back out. I see my sister there and my brother. And so, uh, what we're going to do right now, uh, I just want to go ahead and set the stage. But first of all, I want to show you all my shirt. I don't know if you can see my shirt. My shirt. I hope you can see that. It's a kill racism, not people. And also, I got my mask. I don't know if you can read that. The letters may be backwards. I don't know. But it reads the same thing. It reads, kill racism, not people. I want to go ahead and give special thanks out to my sister Tam. She's the one is the maker of the mask and the shirt. As a matter of fact, she's going to be having some more material coming out as it relates to this guilty verdict. Okay, so I hope you all like it. I hope you can see it. Kill racism, not people. That's what we want to do. You see my shirt? Let me move my mic out of the way. Put it out of the way a little bit with it. Don't want to drop that. Just want to just do a little advertising. That's my shirt. You see it? It say kill racism, not people. All right. So that's what we want to do. All right. So we're going to get started today. But like I say, I want to play this video for those of you who hadn't saw it. I know some of you getting off work, but I want to play this little video clip, probably ain't but 2 minutes of the verdict. Okay. And so just saw my other sisters tapped in there. Say 1, 2, and see if I got all my people. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, 3. I think that's everybody. Well, we got sister. I thought I saw her. But anyway, I'm pretty sure she's gonna drop back in. Let me just go ahead and run this video right quick, first of all. Okay. And then we'll roll into the show. All right. So y'all just sit back. Okay, where is the video now? Okay, we're gonna add the video to the screen. And we finna run this video, okay?
I understand you have a verdict. Members of the jury, I will now read the verdicts as they will appear in the permanent records of the 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derek Michael Chauvin, Defendant. Verdict, Count 1. Court file number 27, CR 20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, juror foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by jury foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Jury foreperson 019. Members of the jury, I'm now going to ask you individually if these are your true and correct verdicts. Please respond yes or no. Juror number 2, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 9, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 19, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 27, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 44, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 52, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 55, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 79, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 85, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 89, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 91, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 92, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts, so say you one, so say you all?
Yes.
Members of the jury, I find that the verdicts as read reflect the will of the jury and will be filed accordingly. I have to thank you on behalf of people of the state of Minnesota for not only jury service, but heavy-duty jury service. What I'm going to ask you to do now is to follow the deputy back into your usual room, and I will join you in a few minutes to answer questions and to advise you further. So, all rise for the jury. All right, be seated. With the guilty verdicts returned, we're going to have Blakely, you may file.
Got a few more seconds. They put him in handcuffs
as
and we'll get
factors
started.
Within 1 week, the court will issue findings on the Blakely factors, the factual findings. 1 week after that, we'll order a PSI immediately returnable in 4 weeks. And we will also have a briefing on, after you get the PSI, 6 weeks from now, and then 8 weeks from now, we will have sentencing. We'll get you the exact dates in a scheduling order. Is there a motion on behalf of the state?
Move to have the court revoke the defendant's bail and remand him into custody pending sentencing.
Bail is revoked, bond is discharged, and the defendant is remanded to the custody of the Hennepin County Sheriff. Anything further? All right, thank you.
Shepard Smith here.
All
Thanks
right.
for watching.
That is that. They took him away in handcuffs. I don't know if you all noticed his little beady eyes. He's almost like he was in disbelief, you know. But anyway, I got a panel of young men and women that asked to join me today. We was conversing back and forth, messenger, you know, speaking about the verdict. Pull this down a bit. We were speaking about the verdict, and we decided to just come on and just express ourselves, just to explain what this verdict actually mean, not just to us personally, you know, that you be a parent, that you be a grandparent, that you just be an ordinary citizen. We think that we need to have some dialogue, some discussion on exactly what does this verdict mean to each of us, to Black America, to the world. Okay, so my guests and I, we're gonna indulge in this conversation just real shortly. I'm finna bring them on right now, and let them go ahead and introduce themselves. I'm pretty sure most of you know these brothers and sisters. They done been on my show before, and I'm gonna go ahead and go in this row as they came in. Let me see. Let me go ahead and see who all we got. We got everybody on. Okay. And so I'm going to bring them on and let them introduce themselves. Okay. Okay. We got brother Ferris here. We're going to let him come on and let me get this screen right and let him go ahead and tell a little bit about himself. And we just go in that order. How you doing, my brother?
How you doing, my brother? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. How you doing? I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Mhm.
For Rod, Shabazz, originally out of Wosola, living in Naperville, the suburbs of Chicago. I've been watching the trial from day one till today, so it really have a big impact on me. So I'm glad
All
to have
right,
you on,
brother
glad to be on the
Farah.
show. All right.
All right, glad to have you.
Thank you, sir.
And let's go down here and see if I got to scroll through my deal here. We got okay, we got my sister here. I call her Sister Tam. We're gonna bring her on and let her go ahead and tell a little bit about herself.
Hi, I'm Tamika Collins. I reside in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I'm from Osceola, um, Arkansas, and I am a mother of two young black men. And so this trial really hit home for me.
All right, that's what we want to hear. We're gonna come back and dig right into the discussion. Let's scroll down here again. Uh, look like we got brother James Frazier. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, how you doing, Tony?
All right, go ahead and just introduce yourself where the audience will know who we have on, and we'll go ahead and get to my
Well,
sister that's
I'm
waiting on us there.
y'all my family, you know. Hey, cuz
Hey.
Tam. Hey, I'm from James Fraser. I'm from Arkansas, from Osceola. I'm living in Columbus, Ohio, and I've been watching a little bit more on the trials. Look, wherever I can, I watch it. You know, like that.
All right. And let's go to my last guest here. Like she was having problems in and out there, but she back and we got a video of her and she's in the flesh now. And so let's bring on my last guest here. Sister Joe. How you
Hey,
doing? Tell a little bit
uh,
about yourself. I know everybody know you.
yeah. Well, I'm Prophetess Joanne Bell, also a activist for domestic violence as well as gun violence awareness. So I'm residing right now in the great city of Sherwood, Arkansas, like
Right.
maybe 14 miles from Little Rock. And I am the proud mother slash aunt of two boys, two men, and the grandmother of two men as well. So this case was very heartfelt for me. So I'm just elated to be here with you guys, and thank you for having me on again, once again, Tony.
Oh, glad to have you on, sister. Now I think most of you saw the little short 32-second Facebook video that I did today. I was just so bubbling happy. I just had to shout, just felt good. It just felt good finally to get a victory. And so, but I also want to talk to you, my brothers and sisters. As you all indicated, many of you, when I say many, I mean other than yourselves, have sons and daughters, of course. They're not just shooting down our sons; they're shooting down our daughters. Okay,
Right.
and
Amen.
so, but you as a parent, first of all, let's put it in the proper context. Uh, me and uh, Sister Bell, we sort of converse back and forth through messages, as well as my wife and I. We was talking about, you know, uh, uh, in a sense, spiking the football. Let me just put it as that. I just want everybody to know this here. We're not uh, trying to come on to be mean spirited or to spike the football to rub it in someone's face, but we have to understand that when we as a people have suffered for over 400 years of injustices, okay, and not to mention what we continue to see in this day and age, where unarmed black men and women, boys and girls are shot down, and there is no accountability, especially as it relates to law enforcement. Okay,
Mm,
not taking a pot shot at all law enforcement, but there are bad apples just about in every department. And so, what we are trying to express today is not only what does this mean to us as a parent or a grandparent, but at the same time, we want to express how we just a little bit more say at ease of being assured that if our children and our grandchildren are harmed, that there will be some accountability. I think this case today, this verdict today, I think it somewhat gave a crack in the door and gave us a little hope. Maybe you all will agree. Um, but but the first question that I wanted to ask, actually, it's not but three. Um, but first of all, I want to go around and let each one of you take about maybe 3 minutes, or whatever time you need. And I need to hear from you, as I just stated myself, exactly what does this verdict mean to you personally and to your family? And so, we're going to reverse this thing, and we're going to start with sister Bell. I called her, and she done popped out on me. Maybe she'll get back in. Well, until Sister Bell come back in, let's go to my sister Tam. What I call her. Oh, there she go. Sister Bell, we're gonna let you go ahead and start us off. Please go ahead and just share with us, just words of expression. Exactly, what does this case mean to you personally and to your family?
Ooh, let me take a deep breath because I have been very intrigued by the whole process itself. Being a part of violence, not by choice, but by force. Shot once in the head and twice in the chest, where someone decided to take my life. And so, but to think, when this first happened, what happened mentally is that we have doctors, we have lawyers that have taken an oath. And if something was to say, they was to refuse someone of medical treatment, they're sued. If a lawyer was to withhold information to his client, he is disbarred. So we're trying to figure out, why is it so hard for the justice system to render these same concepts to law enforcement when it comes to them standing in and taking an oath to protect and serve. And so today, when the verdict came about, I was not in the room, and I thank God for that. But one of the women said, I wonder, will they celebrate? And so the young lady that transitioned that information to me, I paused. And I said, it's not a day of celebration, but a day of rejoicing, because for so many years, we have been under attack. For so many years, our ancestors have been hung. Our ancestors have been brutally beaten, and no justice can justify one life. No sentence that they have given him can return life that was taken. So no, we won't celebrate, but we will rejoice, because we have put, and this is just a dent. But we appreciate the dent. We're grateful for the dent, because something has taken place. We're not sitting back seeing another officer who we found out later was over 9 minutes on someone's neck while he was saying that he couldn't breathe and walk away. And even after he served his time, if he lived through it, he still have a chance at life. So we're appreciative of what the court system has done thus far, but at the same time, we can never get George back. We can never get those lives back that was taken. So we're not celebrating, but we will rejoice. We will, praise God for, the activist part of what has taken place. I have a son. I have 2 sons.
2?
I'm not teaching them how to drive. I'm teaching them how to react.
I totally agree.
That their approach. I just seen the news last night where they said Sherwood is one of the safest places to stay in the state of Arkansas. You know why? Their officers are cutthroat. I went to the police station. I let them know who I was and what I represent. These are my boys that are growing to be strong men. If you have a problem with them, call me. So this is what we face. So yes, this was very, this was very heartfelt, and it's not just because of one person is going to jail.
Right.
A life was taken.
It sure was.
A life. And for me, that man was found guilty before he ever went into a courtroom.
Sure was.
By the people that never had the right to prosecute him.
That's true.
And so when I heard that statement, I was so glad that the young lady had already left. Because what came over was the Bible said, lay hands on no man swiftly. I wouldn't have laid it swiftly. I would have took my time and thought, I'm just playing, y'all. But
let me just ask you this here, though, just real quickly.
They will
You know,
never understand how we feel because they never will understand our walk because they're not of our color. So
Well,
yes, even when the few weeks ago and one of the ladies said all lives matter, I said no, that statement is not true
mm,
because all lives will not matter until Black lives are included in that all lives. We still are a part of all lives.
I agree. It has to be factored into that equation. Until that happens, um, that statement in itself is misleading, or shall I say, just downright a lie. You know, but you hold that thought, my sister, and I'm gonna come back to you. I want to jump up here and go to my brother Ferris. I want to go to him. Farad. I pronounced it right.
so, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great.
You must get your Bluetooth in or something.
Yeah, man. You know what? I know I was doing this, but when I accepted, I was out, and then I still haven't left the place I was at. So I'm in a parking lot, talking to you all, which is a great thing.
So
Uh,
let me ask you, do you have any boys or girls?
yes, yes, I have, yes,
Okay.
yes, I do.
So
I have boys and girls.
so what
Uh,
does this case mean to you as a parent? Uh, to hear this
uh,
verdict today. I mean, does it give you hope?
no, don't. I'm sorry. It doesn't give me much hope. In my time, in my lifetime here, we have witnessed in the early '90s Rodney King getting beaten on video camera,
Uh-huh.
and we watched that trial go where they walked out. Even though Rodney King lived, they walked out. We have watched Mike Brown get killed, Eric Garner, and others, and no justification for them as well. Even though I am very happy that the family of George Floyd got the justice that they deserve and that he rightfully should have got, um, uh, really doesn't it doesn't affect because that one this one trial doesn't represent the whole of what's going on in America today or what's been going on since, well, like you said, 400 years. I go back even 600, but it doesn't represent that, especially when there are certain areas still in the world where we as Black people know um, when the sun go down, you need to get out of town or not be driving or not be out. The possibility of you making home is slim to none. This is we've witnessed so many times before. I was happy that I was happy that that the people um, rejoiced for him. I rejoiced. I think what touched me today is when I seen this older Black man on the camera and he started crying. I'm like, I understood his pain because if something was to transpire like that with my son or daughter, uh, I don't think there's nothing in the world that can stop me uh, from doing what I have to do to make it right. But it is it's not a strong enough statement. I mean, the whole thing was like a learning experience. If you watch the whole trial, I had to learn the difference between what was what's procedure for the police department versus what's practice for the police department, what is versus what is a norm for the police department, especially for a white police officer versus Black police officers, Latinos, Filipinos, any other race or gender, or either female police officers. So this was a lot to do with the learning experience to me. The hope is that no, I mean I see today as a like there's no way around him them not doing what they're doing today. There was, especially when you have someone like President Biden putting his stamp on it. You have other, his own captain turned their back on him. Most of his force that was Black turned their back on him. So I seen this like they had no other choice but to do what they did today, as to give the verdict of guilty. But if it wasn't for the cameras, if it wasn't for the all the publicity and everything to go with it,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Derek would have walked out at courtroom today, with his family, going home to dinner, living
Mhm.
tomorrow as a police officer. Well, again, we'd be burying this man, that his family would be burying him, you know. So the hope there isn't as what I wanted to be or what I thought it should be. It wasn't there. It was a numb feeling, really, because I was thinking about others before George Floyd. Breonna Taylor still haven't got the justice she deserves. You know what I mean? She still haven't. So that's
Oh,
where
we
I'm
got
at.
a way to go.
Okay,
We definitely have a way to go.
I'm sorry. Took too much time. I'm sorry, my
Yeah.
brother.
Oh no, we got I was just saying we got a way to go in terms of justice. You mentioned
Yes, sir.
some of the other people that were waiting on Breonna Taylor, and there's some others, of course. This young
Yes, sir.
kid that just got shot, 13-year-old, and so yes, we do. We have a way to go, but hopefully that thought we're gonna come back to you because, like I said, I don't have but 2 questions, and then I'm going to allow you all to go ahead and chime in.
Okay.
I had to. For those of you who may hear a little feedback in my mic here, I've been playing around with it before I came on the air, so just bear with me and we'll get through it.
Mhm.
Want to go to my sister. Let me see who's next. Did I go to Sister Tam? Did I get her yet?
No.
Okay, we're going to my sister Tam here and let her go ahead and tell a little bit about herself. And I think she she stated that she do have boas, and again, right behind that, just share with us your expressions about how you felt when you heard this verdict, and uh, does it give you hope?
It does. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I was watching it when they said when they announced that they had a verdict. I turned the TV on, because I said something about CNN and you said MSNBC
Yeah.
is where you get your news from.
Oh yeah.
But just sitting there, it was like a knot had gotten up in my throat because I was scared. For one, I was saying to myself, so what if they found him not guilty? What if they don't convict him? What's going to happen? What is this going to say to the rest of the other law enforcement community, police officers that have gotten away with, the stuff like people before George Floyd, Breonna Taylor,
Mhm.
Mike Brown, Philando Castile, everybody that has not gotten the
Just.
justice yet,
Mhm.
or and it's gone on. And somebody on TV said it goes back to Emmett Till,
Mhm.
and that was kind of heart wrenching for me. I cried. Not only did I cry because I have 2 boys, I have 2 Black boys. Not only did I cry about that, I cried because I was happy. Not
Mhm.
only was it that I was happy, but I was relieved because this to me sets a precedence to what's to come, what's possibly to come down the line.
Mhm.
Is this gonna make law enforcement officers that do wrong? Is this gonna be something that they're gonna, have in the back of their mind, what if I do this? Am I gonna go to jail? Are they gonna convict me for doing this? Or am I gonna get away with it again? Just like others have before this. But I cried because I was happy because finally, we got our foot in the door, as you say. It's there. Um, so hopefully these other ones that's coming after him, hopefully they get the same treatments. Hopefully they get the same guilty verdict. I also thought about, what if they did find him not guilty? Then those others that was out there that helped Chauvin basically hold George Floyd down. What is this going to do to their trial? Are they going to be found not guilty as well? Um, so a lot of stuff was running through my mind, but I was happy and I was beyond happy. I even made a shirt. I made a shirt, y'all,
Right.
and I went out with this shirt on. I don't know if y'all can see this shirt, but this shirt says guilty, guilty, guilty. And it's in black, it's in brown, and it's in a light color brown.
See it clearly.
And what this symbolizes for me is that this is a white shirt. This represents white America. This is a white name. This is white America that finally we they were found guilty for killing not only a Black man, but men of color, men and women of color,
Uh-huh.
and that's what it symbolizes to me is that finally a white cop has been found guilty, is being held accountable for what he has done. And he didn't get away with it this time.
You know, and I think we'll be remiss um,
Mm.
not to mention that we had some white jewels that was, and there might have
Yeah.
been another, there might have been some other races as well. But in regards to just the white race, I think I'd be remiss not to say that we finally had some people to sit on this jury um, that had a heart,
Make
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
had a heart, and so
Yeah.
it took both black jurors and white
Mhm.
to come to the right decision that they
Yeah.
made in terms of the verdict. And so, before I move to James, did you
I'm
finish?
done. I'm
Okay,
done. Yeah, I
okay.
am.
And but anyway, y'all just excuse that phone there. Um, but anyway, I gotta go to uh, my uh, my brother James here. Bring
hey,
him in. How you doing there, brother James Frazier, all the way from Ohio?
man,
Again,
peace,
I
peace,
wanna again I
peace.
wanna say to you, um,
Yeah,
you heard the verdict. Just two
yeah.
questions. Well, not two questions. One question is sort of A and B. Exactly when you heard the verdict, exactly what effect did it have on you? That's the first question. And the second question is, I mean, exactly what does this mean for you and your family?
Well, I put it like this. I got two boys myself. I got an older son, James Jr. He 33. And I got my baby boy, Jarrell. He's turned 15. And one thing about I do pray. I pray in my mind. If I don't pray with them, I pray. And have the Lord protect them. Because, my son, he kept the bus to work. And James Jr., Jarrell, he be outside playing basketball, anything to help. But I put it like this. I never doubt God. I pray for justice. True enough, I ain't risk no bad luck for the police officer. For I ain't risk no bad, because the one thing, you don't risk no bad luck with nobody. God don't want you, with nothing. And I would pray for justice, and I believe that what this mean that justice can be served for us. But it
Mhm.
had to take one man to get this justice served. And it's a shame that we had to go through all this for one person. I predict this maybe when I can't think of the guy name got shot in St. Louis or somewhere. The police shot him.
Mike Brown.
Yeah, him. When they shot him, and I said they're gonna shoot the wrong man. They're gonna kill the wrong man for we could get justice for this.
Well, all right, my brother. Did you wrap it up?
I think he's paused.
Did you wrap it up,
He's
James?
Yeah,
froze. He's froze.
Look
yeah,
like
that
you're
was
freezing
great.
up on me.
Great.
I said,
Okay,
look like
you
you're
here?
freezing up on
You
me.
there now?
Yeah. Are you?
Oh yeah,
I
I
was
had a
just
got
trying
a
to see.
call.
Did you wrap it up?
Oh yeah, I basically wrap it up. I didn't have like I said, I didn't have doubt about this. I believe that I had put my faith in God, and then once I put my faith in God, I know justice gonna be served. You know what I'm saying? And
All right.
yes.
Well, I didn't have, but I just got one other question, and then I'll let you all close out on
Okay.
comments. Okay. But the only other question that I have, well, not question, but the only other topic that I have. Okay,
Tony, you
we
sound like a
have
robot.
discussed it. Pardon me. We
Sound
have discussed it. The the issue as it relates to what this verdict mean to us all. Um, Now, before we close out, again, I would be remiss closing out and not mention, okay, the police. We're protesting. We're advocating uh, against the police department, against law enforcement for killing unarmed black men and women. Now, I would be remiss to close out and not ask each of you, uh, first of all,
How do you feel about black on black crime?
Oh,
And what
Lord.
are you doing, or what do you plan on doing to make it better?
Wow.
So I'm gonna start with Sister Bell and let her go ahead and speak to that topic.
Whew. Oh, you hit home with that one, Tony.
Ooh, Lord.
As I said before, I am a victim of black on black crime. I was shot once in the head and twice in the chest, left for dead by a man that said he loved me.
Sorry to hear that.
We had a beautiful baby girl together, and one day he said that if he couldn't have me, nobody could. I was also in a situation where a female decided to take a seam ripper because I was a bystander. And she cut my face up, where I received 64 stitches on the outside and 34 on the inside.
Oh wow, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so we received a verdict of guilty for George Floyd
Mm-hmm.
in the situation that he had. But when will we become that united front for each other?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's tender with me, Tony, and I'm trying hard not to cry because it's so sad that we can
I
hold
understand.
guns
I understand.
and knives and take each other's lives, and we look the same and we dress the same and we walk the same. You know, my walk might not be the time you walk, but we all getting there, and yet we all are still fighting that same fight, because at the end of the day, we're attacking each other while other people are attacking us.
Uh-huh.
And I tell people all the time, I'm convinced it's not so much our color that they're afraid of, it's our mindset. And once our mindset is regulated to what they was picking on when we were slaves,
Mm-hmm.
they won't be able to hold us back. But they keep us, and we're keeping ourselves, because we won't get out that box. We won't get out and become that spokesperson. I got to go back home, because in the last week, 4 to 5 of our young black men just died. The gun violence. And it wasn't by the hands of the white men.
Yes.
When I went home years ago, it was, and I left, before I left, a young man got killed, and my mama said, you live by the sword, you die by it. And this man always made pistol plays. But this particular day, he got out of his car to stop a domestic violence situation, and that young man pulled a gun out on him and shot him. But when we arrived at the funeral, the letter read, and I remember it, we're going to sit back and watch y'all take out each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to sit back and watch y'all dissolve. So for me and my family, one of the things, and I'm just going to speak on one tone, one of the things I do is called PTOC. It's prayer on the corner. And before school starts, I find the schools with the most fights in the area. And me and my kids get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. For the whole month, the school started in August, we out there 6 o'clock in the morning for the whole month of August. And I'm on them corners, I'm rendering prayer in the atmosphere. I have booklets for those children to take in, because my thing is, we keep saying put prayer back in school. You got 560 something kids plus in the school system. Put prayer in your kids and watch prayer prevail. At the end of the school year, May is next month. Guess what? POTC is coming back, because we're going to do prayer on the corner. Because why? That's when those things start happening, where the enemy gets involved and want to start killing and stealing and doing everything he's supposed to do. So as an activist, as someone who wants to see my son, my grandson, my great-grandson grow up to be young men, my daughters to grow up to be entrepreneurs, my daughters to grow up to be, mothers.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take a stand, and we can't be afraid, Tony.
Well, we definitely got to get involved.
We got to stop waiting on the next person.
Yeah, we definitely got to get involved. As a matter of fact, that's what's going to be my next show this coming Sunday. we're going to be speaking on black crime and police reform. And so, as I indicated, we have to realize that we need to patronize our own black communities. Okay, that's what we need to do. And unfortunately, uh, many of us have accepted it as just being the norm. It's just, we don't normalize it. It's okay for blacks to kill blacks. And so, but anyway, I know I don't want to take up the time, but because we got to move around. But I just want to say I do, feel what you're saying and totally agree, Sister Bell. And so, Sister Bell, we're going to go ahead. If you concluded your comments, I'm gonna go ahead and move to my brother Farad.
Oh man, Tony. See, man, I'm sorry, Tony. That black on black crime label is it's a facade. It's not even real. Um, I'm gonna ask a question. I'm just asking because I don't get why we continue to use that term. And when Adolf Hitler attacked the Jews, they was just as white as he was. There was no label for that. It was just he terminated them all. In 1984, the Hattusans versus Natuzis in Africa was a genocide. They didn't kill them because they were black. They killed them because of their tribe and their nature, because they were black as we are. So it's not about a label, black on black crime, because every race, every society, every ethnic group have their group that were killed. I mean, just killing is not uh, a certain person's or certain race thing. Killing is a learned behavior. It's a psychological behavior. So for us to continually to say we gotta point out what is our community. I heard you say the black community, but Sag Harbor in New Jersey, it's all black. So you consider a black community. But what black community you consider in Jonesboro and Little Rock and Osceola and Blytheville? A black community isn't something that someone live because all black people live on that side of the track. That's not your community if you pay rent there. Anytime you ride on the sidewalk and they arrest you for it, that's not your community. If a black man shoot another black man, that's not black on black crime. That's just crime, period. And unfortunately, because of us older men, it's our fault the younger generation men have no value of life. And I say that because when I was coming up, I just give you a quick example. And Bubba, if he can remember this, Bubba Jacob caught me one night at Kenny's Club, that little run down shack, Kenny's Club by Volleys. He asked me, he said, "Boy, what you doing around here?" And I laughed. I was with LA. And he came up to us like he was trying to hit us. And he made us leave. Back then, we had those kind of guys. Nowadays, we don't have
Amen.
that kind of guys. We got guys my age, I hang out with guys 19 and 20, smoke weed, drink with them. And then, something jump off. These guys don't respect us. These guys don't respect nothing we say. We can't teach them anything. So black on black crime
And so, what do we do though?
what
Do
we
we just
do is
continue just turn our
correct.
heads and just
No,
uh
no,
let us kill each other?
no, no. You
What do
don't.
we do? What I'm saying. How do we fix this problem? Because we got a problem.
Okay. You can't fix the problem today, but you can start by educating the ones that you can educate. And hopefully the ones you educate could be a peer pressure for the next person. You're not going to be able to save everybody. You're not. Throughout our lifetime on this earth, even in Africa, before we became slaves, there was killings. Black was killing. It's just a nature of this world. But to give it to give it what this European have called black on black crime, you don't hear them. White guy walking to a couple of months ago, he walked into a grocery store and he shot up people. Some was white, majority was white. I don't think nobody was black. There was no white on white crime there. It was just a guy who
But
walked
just
in
to
and
take
shot
away
people.
the, just take away for whatever labels and names that we put on it. I just want us to know are we in agreement that there's too much killing of folks that look
Ronnie.
like me and you? That's what I'm saying.
Mm,
It,
I,
it the thing is that you know I feel everything you're saying for the certain stigmas and labels and everything that's attached and whatever. But one thing that cannot be overlooked is the fact that we killing each other. And
Yeah.
so my thing is that I'm not saying, for us to come up with some type of solution, in this little broadcast. There's not enough time for that. But
Correct.
what I'm trying to do is acknowledge that we got a problem with us not loving each other. And so how do we turn that around? I mean, that's the focus that I'm trying to bring to the forefront.
The way you turn that around, like here, the way you turn that around, I give you a real simple. The way you turn it around is you got to show love for yourself. You got to show love for your family. You got to show it because you got to be a mirror image of what they see. Anytime they look on the TV and the first thing they can watch is images of gangsters, images of prostitution, images where Cardi B is your daughter, or my daughter's a young girl's hero, then you got a problem. That's your problem right there. And society have put it out there for you to image. It's a mirror image. And once they remove that mirror image, you will understand what's going on with it. Right now, though, all they got their heroes is someone with a gun in his belt or a dope dealer who's making more money in 2 days than they can make in a week working.
It's not in the TV.
So they don't have that value that we had coming up.
And that's the
someone else.
value.
I'm sorry.
I said, you said a magic word, value. The value doesn't reflect from a television. It doesn't reflect from a radio. The value reflects from home. We as a parent have to install certain morals and value from our children. And even like I said, when we go back to the Bible, it said when they stray, they will return. And so even for me growing up with an alcoholic father, with an alcoholic auntie, seeing abuse all around me, it wasn't something that I wanted for myself. But being able to see that small light in that tunnel, I reached for something different. So even seeing, like right now, certain rappers and artists, my kids watch that, even as a minister, but at the end of the day, it's not who they are. So it takes like the thing say, it takes a village to raise us. So we have to pull from the pastor, we have to pull from the parents, we have to pull from the teacher. When we can bring all of them together, then we can see resolution. It doesn't just stop. So it's not one prospect that's killing us. And the reason why we so ostracized, the reason why they're saying black on black crime is because it's if you look at the statistics, what you get for a black man or a black woman that go to jail, this is the reason why they give them more a lengthier sentence, because the money is longer. So they're doing certain things. So that it's not, and I get what you're saying as far as black on black crime, but they emphasize on us on NBC and MSBN and all this stuff because why? They want us to look like we're the goons. They want us. But if you go and you pull up that station that's showing Caucasians, predominantly white other races, you'll see that too. But they're not showing that. I worked in a hospital where this woman came in that was found in Blytheville, Arkansas, and she was in when we had those trains out there. And that woman, I looked for her name in that paper. I looked for her name to be announced on the radio, and they never said.
Let me go ahead and let brother Farrell go ahead and pick back up on his closing remarks here.
Yeah, I'm gonna close it real quick. I just want to ask her, Miss Bell, a question.
I can barely hear you. Can you speak up a little bit?
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. I just want to respond to Miss Bell. That's okay. And Miss Bell, there's no disrespect to you at all. And
none taken.
And I hope not. And I'm not meaning that in no harsh way. You just said that you were raised up in a family where alcoholic and other abuse was going on. But didn't you also experience that abuse afterwards, after you left home? And then
I chose that life.
That life you chose is also a mirror reflection of what you made of. But you and thankful to God, you are able to come out in a positive way because you've seen the errors. But some people
you know why I saw the abuse?
Let him go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
Some people don't have that option. And I go back to again, you are maybe the one out of the million. You may be the one out of the million. But others don't have that. They have nothing. In Chicago, there's they call it the O block, where there's on 63rd and 64th. There's a whole section on 63rd, and then there's this one block on 64th, and all between the two is a little street, Tony. One little street, Tony, and that is the deciding factor for a young man to live or a young man to die, and only because no one have taught them that besides that area, the world is bigger than that. No one has taught them that there's more out there to get than that. And that's what I'm saying, a mirror thing. we have lost the way as men. I'm talking about my age men, 55 and older. We lost the way the men in the raising. We thinking that, oh, I taught my son, so I'm good. No, it's we go beyond that. We have stopped teaching young guys how to be young men and
True.
allow and try to be thugs and hang out with them. So what they value is nothing but a dollar bill, a gun,
That is
and
true.
how many females they can sleep with. Until we raise their knowledge of their self and love for themselves, they have nothing. I asked a guy one night in Old Soul, I said, should I what about respect? I said, do I earn your respect or do you give it to me because I'm your elder? He said, you gotta earn my respect. And I said, how do I earn your respect when you are under me? You're younger than me. And he said, I don't know, but I ain't giving you no respect. See, that's not how we were raised up, Tony. We raised up when we went to the gym, who did we give respect to? We gave it to Alex, we gave Alex Boyce, we gave it to Chief, we gave it to eat Miss Chris. They automatically got respect because that's how we were brought up. Once you get away from that, it's a done deal. And it's hard to get it back. It's really hard to get it back unless you start back in the home, redoing what you was taught, and by keeping up with the date and times and errors. And you'll be okay.
Well,
That's
all right.
all right. I'm sorry it
We,
took so long, brother. Forgive me. Miss
we
Bell,
got
forgive
two
me as
other
well.
people. Oh, no problem. We got two other people we're gonna move around to, and I just want to say I want to put something on the on the board here. Uh, People just making a statement here. Before I come to let me see. We got Sister Tam and we got Brother Frazier, correct? To
Yes.
speak.
Hmm.
I'm gonna come to Sister Tam when I go ahead and show some of the remarks over here on the screen, because we like to always try to, although they're not questions, but we welcome questions, but we also want to put up statements. And this is everyone else just saying hello, but this is a statement here. This is by my sister Fam. This Fam here, Tasha Cook. She said my first time hearing of what is that? Hollis?
LGBTQ.
The
Uh,
PO,
uh,
POTC.
Prayer on
yeah.
the corner.
Oh, pray on the
Put it on
corner.
the
Oh,
phone.
well, educate me when all these missions come up. I tell you, I can't keep up with them all. But it say love the energy and concern for the community. Uh, and she just got one other follow up that she want to put up. It say, I think a big part of the disrespect and the negative behavior of the teenagers and young adults is that their parents uphold their behavior
True.
instead of supporting others who are trying to correct, guide, and impact wisdom in the younger generation. I hear so much. Um, these are my kids, meaning they don't want anyone else to correct or discipline their children like it was done as a village back in the day. But be it white or black, adults need to be supportive or moral behavior and strong. And so I totally agree with my sister. We
Yeah.
also have uh, this is Elder Robert. This Robert Parnell. He said at the end of the day, it's
Still
black
black on black
and
crime.
white. Excuse me, it's black. It's black on black crime,
At the end of the day.
and that is the real issue. So I totally agree with that. Uh, we also have my sister Miss Anderson. Again, uh, what about Rayshawn Warren?
Right.
Exactly. You already know how I feel
Wow.
about that,
Woo.
Sister Anderson. We're going to yet be in the pursuit
Yeah,
of
that's
justice, and we won't stop until we get justice for Rayshawn Warren. I just wanted to sneak those questions in there, not questions, but those statements. I like to try to get but and when we come back, those questions that are not questions, but those statements that I put up, you all want to give your closing remarks. Once I get through my last two people, you can, okay? So we're going to move to Sister Tam and go ahead and let her, just share. I mean, black on black crime, you know,
Um,
and what are you doing or what do you plan on doing to try to make it better?
so, as I stated before, I have two young black men that I'm raising. And I instill in them what's right and what's wrong, what not to do, what to do. I'm not one that uphold my kids when they're in the wrong. I talk to them and I tell them that's not right. This is not what you're supposed to do. Case in point, I moved from Jonesboro and was in Crime Bluff. Everybody knows
Crime Bluff.
Crime Bluff. Yeah,
Mhm.
Crime Bluff, but I call it Crime Bluff. And I call it Crime Bluff for a reason. I moved there, and I was there almost 3 years, and I left, and I came back. But before I left, I sent my oldest son back because I didn't want him to end up a statistic. Um, the kids, the guys that he went to school with, not necessarily that he was hanging around with, but guys that he went to school with, kids he went to school with, that was his own age, were coming up week after week, shot, dead, killed over something that just was why. The youngest was 14 years old. Um, and it was guys that he went to school with. One guy killed another one over a girl. And he thought the beef was over. And it wasn't. And I saw that kid. We were coming from the casino one night. Me and a friend of mine were coming from the casino when we went to Hot Springs and was coming back. And I seen somebody laying dead in the road. The lights on them, the police were around. And I said, "There's somebody dead laying in that road," not knowing that it was a 16-year-old kid that his friend had just shot him in the back of the head and just left. Um, After that, I got my son and I sent him back to his dad in Osceola. And then we later on, my youngest son and I, we moved back. But I go on to say that is because when I was growing up, if you got in trouble, the whole neighborhood whooped you.
Hello.
Your mama, your grandmama, your neighbor, you did something, somebody whooping
Oh
you.
yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, somebody whooping you, but they don't do that now. You hit somebody's kid now, they mama, they dad, or somebody, or even them, they gonna shoot and kill you. They gonna do something, So we've lost that. We've lost that as growing up over, going on year after year, where mama and grandmama and aunties and your next door neighbor, Miss Joyce, or somebody, you got in trouble. Hey, Miss Joyce told on you. Miss Joyce whipped your butt. If your grandmama or your mama wasn't at home, then she telling everybody. She telling them when they come to the house, "Hey, I did this. This what she did. This is why I did it." Then you get another whooping. So I see all the time where people are saying, it seems like only Black Lives Matter when a white cop shoots another, Black person. But it's also kind of racist. This Black on Black crime because there's white on white crime. You don't hear anybody saying, white on white crime. There's Black on white crime. There's white on Black crime. It's just all kind of crimes, but it's heartbreaking to see our people each and every day killing each other over something that's stupid. We're losing our young people are losing their lives for no reason whatsoever, and it starts at home.
Amen.
I totally agree. It's one thing that we're not taking care of business in home, and when someone else try to give some advice that's going to impact things for the better, and it's almost like that turn into some type of argument between the parents. And so, but we do all get Brother Frazier coming to him, and then I want to come back and give everybody an opportunity to summarize their thoughts on touching base on both, in terms of, what this verdict mean going forward for you all today, and what do you plan to do, when you leave, this broadcast today, as it relates to help better in our community. So we're gonna move to I think Brother Frazier is next. We're gonna move to him and let him go ahead and share his thoughts.
Hey, well,
yeah, go ahead, Brother
made a
Frazier.
good point, Tony. Yeah, you're right. They got to start in the home, and everything. And I look at the generation change a lot, and you got the I hate to say the word. You got the thug, you got the gangster, and you got all the different style the young generation getting involved with. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I said this before. We need to train the young man. We got to, because the justice system is different. You got the
So how
justice
do we
system,
do that
right?
though? I mean, when you say train, oh, that's too loud. When you say train these young men, I mean, how do we get there? I mean, what do we do? Do we just go out and pick a child, or do we become part of a group?
No,
Do we start some in our church?
we got
I
to
mean,
take
what
it
do
to
we
the
do? How do
street.
we start that?
Take it to the street, man. Take it to the street. You know, back then, they used to have revival on the corner. You remember that?
I remember.
We didn't take it to the street. You know, and talk to the young man. Cause if they go out there and commit a crime, they don't have no freedom.
So how do we come together though? I'm talking about when you say we, are you talking about men of age? How do we come together in order to go out and reach, as far as hitting the streets? How do we come together, on the same page?
Well, we got to come up. We got to get a leadership. We got to get a leadership. It seems like we don't have enough leadership out here.
You mean
trying
leadership? Is it leadership or unity, or is it both?
Both. And if we talk about it, we go out here and protest the cops shooting up. We need to go out there to protect the crime. I don't care wherever it go. We need to get out in the street and tell them tell the young generation, hey, y'all got to start killing each other. And I remember I'm in Columbus. They did a block party. They tried it before. They had the hearse, the hearse out there in the street, and tell them, look, this gonna be your ride to justice. You know what I'm saying? This what you gonna be riding in when your parents bury you in. Put down the gun. That's what they said. Put down the gun and stuff like that. And I kind of look at the new generation, man, because back then, Tony, we were coming up with the different rap group, different R&B group. It wasn't all about no gangster. You know what I'm saying? The Sugar Hill Gang. I listen to them. They always talking about the street, but now they talking about the gangster. You got these young guys is gangsters now these days. They don't care. They don't care.
So are we afraid of them? And I mean, is that what I mean, when you say gangsters, I mean, are we afraid of our own young brothers in the community? Is that somewhat preventing us from going out to trying to reach these young men? So when you say gangsters, I mean, it's almost like you're putting somewhat of a stigma on folks that look like you and I, and so for that, it's almost like
you got
we don't want to bother with them.
You got some not the young man. You got some of these young girls out here doing a lot of robbing, killing each other too. I mean, we got to take it to the street. If I don't mind talking, I don't mind going to the street talking to the young guy. If telling them, look, man, y'all got to stop this.
Do you know of any groups right now in your area that?
Yeah, it's a couple. It's a couple that are in my area
What are they doing? I mean, you from Ohio. What is Ohio doing as opposed to Chicago or Arkansas or Jonesboro for that matter?
Well,
what are you all doing?
We got a guy. He on the city council, and we got the mayor is trying to do something too. Because our crime rate is up.
I'm talking about for as men, just men, and not the officials, but I'm talking about men in general. What is men in the community doing to try to reach some of these individuals that you're talking about? I mean, that's my question. I mean,
Well,
do you know of any groups? What I'm saying, besides the council and this other leadership, do you know of any groups within your community that have come together uh, uh, and want to go out and try to uh, put boots on the ground to try
not
to reach some of these young, whether
not
they gangsters
not
or whether they Sunday school boys?
not many, not many, but
It don't exist, in other words, right?
no, no, no,
And,
no, 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 not
and,
right
and,
now.
and that's the problem that we have right now. You know, it seems like there's a disconnect with men in general, you know, coming together on one note before we can go out and try to reach some of these young folks. It's almost as if, you know, there need to be some connection among the brotherhood, but it just seems like we're
Right.
so fragmented. Everybody
But
wants to do their own thing and this, that, and other. You know, but I'll go
but
ahead and let you close on it. Sorry to interrupt. Go
well,
ahead.
now another thing we got to do, we got to clean up the neighborhood. We got to get the drugs. We got to get the drugs out.
Feel like you got some feedback there.
I'm
Where the
sorry.
food coming from?
Uh, well, we need to get the drugs. We need
Still
to get
got
the
some
drugs and
feedback.
stuff
I don't
out
know
there.
what's going on.
Is somebody else talking?
Well,
That
let
was
me go ahead and
you.
mute.
Well, I look like this. We need to get the drug out the neighborhood. We get, and you get a lot of drugs in the neighborhood. You getting a lot of gain territory. People claim their territory and stuff like that. And when you get a lot of drugs, you getting a lot of guns too coming right in there. And that's something we got to clean up the neighborhood. I'm because it's white, black, wherever we got to clean it up. You know what I'm saying?
But all right, y'all, this like your time been well spent, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you all. I said that we was gonna talk about both topics in your closing remarks, but I'll just let you go ahead and manage that. Um, you know, choose whichever one you want to speak on. We're gonna take about maybe 3 minutes going around and let everyone go ahead and close out their remarks, and we're gonna go ahead and conclude this broadcast. And so, Sister Bell, we'll start with you.
Oh, um, I mean, I really enjoyed the conversation here today. Appreciate you as hosting
No
and
problem.
bringing out some things that have been silently kept. The one of the things that I just want to speak on is as far as the as a village, we can't point the fingers. If we're out doing our part, then there's a part being done.
Uh-huh.
Let's not blame the next person. Let's just continue to hope that someone see your actions and climb on board. We're all in this together. And until we can see that, we still gonna be fighting the injustice because it is, I mean, it's a stigmatism, but at the end of the day, when you see that body on that ground, like the other night in Osceola, that was a
Uh-huh.
black man. And who was accused of shooting that black child that laid on that street? Another black man. Our focus is black on black crime because we're black. So we're going to hear those things. It might not be something we like, but that's where we're at. And that we have to be a partaker in what we want them to see. When we talk about revivals, when has the last time our children attended church? Some of these children don't even believe in God because of what they see in the pulpit. And I'm just keeping it real. We got some ministers that they hang out with. And so how can we convince them on who God is when their outside is set on who's doing wrong? So it's going to take some time, but it can be done because once we put the work in, go to the board meetings, attend some of these things. We got a lot of people making decisions for our kids, and we're not there. So it's a work in progress, but I'm willing to do the job.
Well, all right. That's exactly what we want to hear. um, rolling your sleeves up and just jumping in and work where you can work. And so um, I agree with you on that part.
Before
Uh,
you, I do want to respond to Miss Cook real quick. The POTC, it did not come together until I moved to the Little Rock area. Was seeing so many fights, and I got custody of my sister girls, and so they were coming home and they were infused by, oh, who got the fighting today? Who got the fighting yesterday? So that's where that came about. So I made it my mission. I don't want them coming home talking about who got the fight. We're gonna go to the streets and talk about and pray. So that's where that came about. If she need anything more on it, just let me know. But it didn't come together until 2018.
all right then, brother. Where my brother at? Brother Farad, how you doing, my brother? I see you.
Hey,
Look like
hey,
you in the
hey.
dark. Are you sitting in the dark?
Yeah, man, I'm sitting in my truck still, sitting there,
All
just
right,
listening, enjoying myself,
all right,
listening to
man.
some of these great conversations you have. Hey, for me, uh, I'm a student. I'm a student, registered member of the Nation of Islam under the leadership of the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm also a student of the Most Honorable Khalid Abdul Muhammad, who started the New Light Conference.
All
Uh,
right then.
so I have seen the work that they have done and to transform young men into men. I bear witness to that. I believe it can happen. One of the things, just to sum it all up, one of the things is that there had to be more conversation with them, though. Like, for instance, what you're doing now, it would be a beautiful thing if some young, like maybe a couple young men come in and discuss why they're doing what they're doing, or why the streets are hot like they are, or why they kill, or why they have to feel that their lives are always threatened. So it's a kill first attitude. So that way we can hear what they're thinking, what's on their minds at the same time, instead of me and others, we're just projecting our own ideology of what we think is going on. Um, uh, in my area again, I do see a lot of work from a lot. I heard you ask Mr. Frazier's question, and I do see a lot of work. You have men to cook; they teach young brothers how to cook. You got men
Uh-huh.
who take young brothers out golfing; they teach them how to golf. That's where my love of it comes from. I see a lot of men out, just teaching young guys how to do the basic like mechanics, uh, shooting ball, just doing things like that. But we'll get. I believe that one day we will. I might not be in my lifetime, but I'm hoping my grandkids lifetime that we all will come together and we'll have a peaceful life instead of the life we're living in disharmony now.
Sound good. And brother,
Yes, sir.
me and you both gonna be working toward it.
Yes,
Not
sir.
just praying, not just talking, but we're gonna be working toward that on making it turning it into action. What I'm trying to say,
Yes, sir.
it's a plan is only as good as you put it in action. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And
I'm with
but I
it.
appreciate you, my brother, for
I
giving us
love you
those
all.
closing remarks.
Hmm.
And I think we got Sister Tam. We're coming to you now.
Um, I just want to reflect on the verdict today. I'm very pleased with that verdict. As I stated, I think it opens up the door for other stuff to come about, not only with police reform. Hopefully, they get something in place um, dealing with police reform, as well as um, the crime itself. As I stated about the black on black crime, I think it always starts at home. Um, what we've gotten away from is that, uh, we have children, mothers are becoming mothers earlier than they were back in the day. And then mothers uh, having children, and then their children having children, so they're grandmothers. You got grandmothers that's in their 30s, and you got great grandmothers that's probably in their 50s and stuff like that. So they've been what we had back in the day has gotten lost um, from generation to generation. And until we can get that back and start back um, with the village, as Sister Bell said, and instilling, starting at home, what it's like, and what it should be, to be uh, a person, a influential person in society. We have to start there. Like I said, I am happy, I am elated about that verdict today, because I think it's going to open up the doors to a lot more.
Amen.
Well, I tell you, the
Tony.
verdict, I guess, it pretty much gave us all bubbling joy, and so I can agree with you on that. As I say, I had to make me a little 32-second video and just shout,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
I had to get it out.
Amen.
I
Hey, Tony.
wasn't trying to get an audience, but I just had to get it out.
Hey,
But
Tony.
Amen.
appreciate you for your comments. And like we got one other brother, I think Brother Frazier. We're gonna come to you and let you go ahead and give your closing remarks, and then I'm gonna put these statements on the board. Sister Anderson, like she done typed, done made 2-3 posts, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. So, Brother Frazier, like you sitting in the dark as well.
Oh yeah. Well, first I wanna say at the
Let me go back.
time,
Go
cuz
ahead.
I want to send my love to you. Happy birthday to my auntie Mary.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love y'all.
Love you too.
Well, I want to recap on the verdict too. I mean, she said it right. It's open some through doors, but we still got some work. We got a lot of work to do with the justice system too. And another thing by that they need to work on to get rid of all the bad cops, on the force. And the second thing by Tony, when I said we need to train these young men, we need to let them know when they get stopped by the police what they right is, because a lot of these young men don't know they right, and then some of these police, when they stop you, they got an attitude. So when you get an attitude with a police officer, you're gonna get an attitude too. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we got to work on with these young men. So this stuff don't have to happen again. Cause I want to say something before we close. We had just got another police shooting in Columbus, Ohio. A 15-year-old girl got shot 5 times, and she don't. And I don't. And that's something that we got to work on. They need to work on the justice system reform, police reform thing too. Cause we got some cops we got some police on the force, man. And right, bro, you know that. You know what I'm saying? So one bad cop make it all, make it bad on all the other. But we need to train some of the young mans, and let them know what they, adjust what they right there when they get stopped. So it's you don't want to hear the phone calls. Hey, phone call from somebody to say your son got shot and this that got stopped. Or the broker tail light. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they had it. Make sure they don't have an outstanding warning on that license. Had an insurance, had everything, paperwork and everything ready for when they just stopped you, stuff like that. So that's my account there. But I'm like I said, justice has been served.
Well, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Brother Frazier, was you still speaking?
Oh, I'm cool. I'm cool now.
All right. I just didn't want to jump in on you.
Oh, no, you great.
I want to thank you all. Like I say, this was a last minute thing. I know some of you just getting off work, had a busy day, and you found it worthy of my time, giving of your time to come sit in with us today. I think hopefully, we have heard something today that we can take to heart, and maybe go back to our own communities, and because the goal is, once we get past this police stuff, actually we need to do them both. We don't need to pick and choose. When everybody know me, my bread and butter is social justice. Okay, that's my bread and butter.
Right.
But I don't need the next person come getting in my ear, trying to tell me, well, what about black on black crime? Well, what about it? What you doing about it? I can't fight
Amen.
every battle. And that really ticks me off. It's almost like, they want to be the go-to person for every issue in the community. I got grandkids that I want to see to grow up to graduate, and I love the community, but I'm not going to let them kill me.
Right.
And
Amen.
so each of you, I know Sister Bell there, she really keep boots on the ground there down in Little Rock. And I know my brother, Brother Farad, he working with a good organization, working with the Muslim brothers, the Muslim faith, his family. And so I know he's well connected. Brother Frazier, he got his family as well. And I'm pretty sure he got some people from, I think, a few folks from Osceola he know there, they live in the area. And so there's some people that he can refer to. And my sister Tam, she another one of those jack of the trades, of all trades. And, she gonna give of herself whatever is needed. I think she can easily fill that role. You all are some wonderful people. I mean, I love you all, and I thank you for coming on. But before I let you all go, I want to show you the last comments here that was made. I got a comment here. Okay, I will do that, Brother Farad. I will do that.
Thank you.
But anyway, we got some comments here that I want to show you all. Now, this is a mother who continued to try to get justice for her son. Many of you know that I, along with them, have been advocating tirelessly to try to get justice for Rayshawn Warren. She goes on to speak about who has been supporting her in terms of the city officials and who has not. And so that is one. She continue to ask the question, what about her son? This is Miss Tammy Marshall here. She's in agree with Tasha Cook on some things that she said. But Miss Anderson again, she say the Blythe, Arkansas, she's not just talking about the city government. When she say Blythe, Arkansas, she mean the people that live within Blythe. And one of the things that is so sad is that we hear of all these killings at other places around the country, whether it's Chicago or whether it's Minneapolis, whether it's Atlanta, Georgia. We hear of all these killings that's going on around the country, and we'll weigh in, give our comments, and that's okay. I mean that's your right. You can do that, but I also believe that we need to show our own people that live right up on our nose that have experienced in some of those same tragedies. And many of us that live right here in the city of Blythe have not picked up the phone and called Mrs. Anderson just to give her some kind words. I mean, there's many people in this community that call themselves advocates, that say they're about love, that they from the community or that they're a city official. And many of these people have not reached out to Miss Anderson. And so I think that's very disgraceful. It's just a shame. And so that is exactly what she's talking about when she say Blythe, Arkansas have let me down. That is what she's talking about. There's also another comment she made. They hid their faces from the truth. They meaning the city officials, and you might also can say members of the community. They may not be a city officials, but they may have some standing in the community or some influence in the community. But nevertheless, they have been silenced. Okay. And she got one other comment down here. It say, did not one councilman, she's talking about council member, not one preacher, not just a council member, but not one preacher came to her. She say me, but meaning to her, and to show her, what you said, nothing come now. Show me nothing come now. You got to be real now, and that's what she's saying. She wants some real people, whether it's a preacher, whether it's a city official, or just people in general. She want them to, when they come, be real. I mean, don't come with a hidden
Right.
agenda. That's what she's saying. Got my brother here. Don't tune in, brother D'Angelo Lee. What's going on, my brother? Next time I shoot down that way, I gotta look you up. All right.
All to the people. You
All
right.
right. Well, y'all, I just wanted you all to sit and hear and hear me read those statements by Mrs. Anderson. Keep her in your prayer, brother.
Yes.
Brother Rod said he will keep you in your prayer, Mrs. Anderson, and as well as the rest of the panel here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and conclude this broadcast. And I want to thank each of you for coming on. May God bless you. And what's remainder of the day, I ask you all enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you,
for
son.
having
Love
me.
you, bro.
All right. Bye-bye.
Y'all
Y'all take
have a
care.
great night. Y'all have a great night.
All right.
You
then.
too. You too, man.
All right. All right now.
All right. Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was my show. We just wanted to just dialogue on the verdict today, to just share our expressions. Exactly what does this mean for Black Americans, or what does this mean for our Black families in general? What does this mean to you? What does this mean to you going forward, as well as Black on Black crime? We got to get to the point to where we got to be about calling out Black on Black crime. All right, we can't continue to be quiet. I'm getting ready to go and join the family where we will be burying my little cousin. Many of you know him. We call him AJ. Of course, he got another well-known fame name. I think he was a little rapper, and I can't pronounce that name that he got, so I'm not gonna even try. I call him AJ. I know him as AJ. Okay, but for those of you, I want you to hear Mrs. Anderson, because when I put this here up right here, this banner, let me go down here and find it. I know I had it down here somewhere. Here we go. This banner simply says it all. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. That's a quote from the great Dr. Martin Luther King. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. We have a lot of people that's quiet nowadays, y'all. Hopefully, they'll get in gear and they'll be about the cause. So until then, next week, I want you all, not next week, but this comes Sunday, we're going to be having pick up on this discussion. I got some guests coming on that where we're going to be talking about police reform mostly, and we're also going to touch back, piggyback on the Black on Black crime. I've also been asking, should the pastors have a role on 3 issues: Black on Black crime, police reform, and voter suppression. Hopefully, they will get involved. At least I'm hoping. But if not, we're going to carry on. Well, that's my show, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to say, will you all please come back next week and join me on April the 25th, Sunday. Okay? We will be announcing, I just announced the topic. You already know what I'm going to be speaking about. So may you all have a blessed, wonderful evening, what's left of it. Pandemic is real. Continue to wear your mask. Be safe. And until I see you again, peace and love. God bless and good night.